tuning into BitchFit, broadcasting out of somewhere in Texas. I am your host, Danny G, not to be confused with Cardi B. Ew. Welcome to episode 1. That's right, the first episode. Now, just to kind of give you a brief description of, my podcast, I'll be talking about anything and everything. Anything from love, life, sex, gossip, entertainment, movies, shows, anything that anybody sends an email, a question to me on the street, anything like that. I would love, love, love to talk about it. So this week's episode is sponsored by PT. That's right, sponsored by Puffy Taco. Just kidding. So yeah, I kind of just want to give y'all some insight about the show and what I'm going to be talking about. Again, I'm open to almost everything. On all social media platforms, I have asked people to kind of give me some questions or something that they would like me to talk about or to hear my opinion, and I was really shocked at the response that I got. I got a few emails, a few DMs on Instagram, and a few Facebook messages, and a couple people's snaps. So I kind of want to get into it, and right off the bat I'm getting into it. So out of the emails and a couple of the Instagram messages and one snap, there is a common denominator. And that common denominator, ladies and gentlemen, is anal sex. Yeah, I said it. Again, we're going there. Episode 1, anal sex. So the question is, multiple questions. So let's tackle them one by one. Question 1. Does anal sex hurt? Yes, anal sex does hurt. The very first time you do it, you can make it hurt not as bad, but it's still gonna hurt. Now again, there's different ways that you can do this and make it a little bit more comfortable for yourself, ladies. So my advice to you is to be on either your side or laying flat on your stomach when it comes to the first penetration of anal sex. Again, yes, we are going there. Now moving to the next question. How do we prepare for anal sex? Is there a way to do it? Is there a certain ritual that I do personally for it? So yes, there is a ritual that I do to prepare for anal sex if I know that I'm going to have sex that day. The first thing I do is I eat in the morning and I eat for lunch, and that's it. If I know it's going to be at night, I do not eat for the rest of the day. Because we want to make sure that we don't have any surprises. So one thing I will tell you is, if you want to have anal sex and you want to, it to be really, how do I say, a fun experience, and not be worried about any surprises or anything like that, you want to make sure that you eat before, way before. Now here comes the not so fun, kinda not talked about part, and that is the douching. So I've had people ask, well, why don't we just do an enema? Well, the thing with enemas is they don't clean just your booty. They clean your intestines, they clean all your insides. You basically gonna be shitting all damn day. And we don't want to do that. We just want to clean our booty. We want to make sure that it's nice and clean, nice and fresh. So go buy a douche. You don't need the chemicals that come with it or anything like that. You just need the actual bottle itself and a little bit of soap and water. And I mean, it pretty much spells out itself. You know, you got a douche, you got your booty. Basically, do it until the water is clean. Long story short, um, if you really want your first time doing anal to be fun for you and your partner, you want to make sure that you are very clean. You don't want to be leaving any kind of special surprises for your partner because, I mean, of course they're gonna love you no matter what, but it's not cute, it's not fun, and it's embarrassing. It also ruins the mood. So yeah, we don't want to ruin the mood. We want to keep our booty nice and clean and have fun. Now, again, follow these steps, take it slow, especially if it's your first time. If it's your first time, um, don't eat all day. Make sure you're clean and again, have fun. I don't know if I really want to get too deep into it. You know, there's a lot that goes into preparing for anal sex, but I feel like I answered it pretty well. Well enough for you to kind of put it into action. So if you and your man want to get freaky deaky and he's been telling you like, babe, let me put it in your butt, or you've been telling him, babe, put it in my butt, well, now you kind of know. You kind of know how to make it a little bit more of the smoother transaction versus taking the let's just try it and, you know, it being one of the most painful experiences you've ever had. Because I've had plenty of my friends tell me, girl, I was riding my man's dick one time and I was getting it. Then one time I just came on up and went back down and there it went up my booty. And it was not a fun experience. I love those stories. Those are absolutely my favorite stories to hear. Now, I also got another email. This one stood out to me because it had a few questions on it, and I definitely would like to answer a couple. So, one of the questions is, what do you think happens after someone dies? Is there a heaven or a hell, or do you think we get reincarnated? That one is very deep. Um, Honestly, in my opinion, I believe there's a heaven and hell. I also believe that people do get reincarnated. Um, I feel, in my opinion, in my perspective, that if you do really, really bad in your life, like there's, you know, no repenting, no prayers. Like if you do really, really bad, that yes, you do go to hell. But I also feel that if you, you know, made some mistakes and you've spoken with whomever you worship, and you know, if that's how your religion goes, I mean, I feel like they could reincarnate you, give you like that second chance at life. But again, religion is kind of a hot button issue. It's not something that I personally like to talk about to my friends or with family, just because everybody has their own opinions. And just like assholes, they're there. We can't help it. You know, you have your opinion, I have my opinion. But yeah, that's my opinion on that question. Now, another one which I really, really like, I love anything that is supernatural, anything have to do with ghosts and things like that. Oh, love it. So, the next question is, have you ever had a supernatural experience or do you not believe in ghosts? The thing is, I do believe in ghosts. Yes, I've had a few supernatural experiences in my life. Some of them are, you know, simple things like seeing, you know, a shadow but nothing's there, or just recently with my job, I was closing, and you know, there's all kinds of ghost stories about where I work, and one night when I was closing, I was shutting off the lights, and when I set the alarm, it gave me like an error, and I was like, what's going on? And it was like, check sector 2, which is by our restrooms. And I was like, girl, I was just there. So I turn around and I noticed that the light was back on. The thing is with that specific area that the light can only be turned on manually, and I know for 100% fact that I shut it off. So I was super freaked out. I ended up just overriding the alarm and like piecing out. I was like, fuck that. No, sir, no, ma'am. I don't make those little mistakes on, is anybody there? Who's there? Fuck that. I am motherfucking out that bitch. Okay? So yeah, I don't be making them rookie mistakes. Something scary, I'm out. Sorry. You know, I would be okay if I saw a spirit. Seeing a spirit isn't so scary. It's seeing other things that go bump in the night is what I'm a little fearful about. You know, just recently I went and saw La Llorona, and for those who don't know, or basically for those who are not of a Hispanic descent, La Llorona is the weeping woman. It's about this lady who lived in Mexico. She was beautiful, married the man of her dreams, and gave him children. And then she found his ass with another fucking woman being a fucking cochino. That just means nasty. He's being a nasty. He's being a little nasty. And instead of fucking at the bitch and him, she actually drowns her kids. So she kills both of her kids, and that's just in a fit of rage. And then she regrets it ultimately and ends up killing herself. So, especially if you come from a Mexican heritage like me, you were always threatened with La Llorona, you know. It's like, oh, you better clean your room or La Llorona's gonna get you. Or you better stop crying, La Llorona's gonna hear you, she'll come get you. My mom's favorite one. Anytime my mom would spank me for not washing the dishes and send me home to send me to my room, she'd be like, you better stop crying in your sleep, because La Llorona loves that. She loves little kids crying in their sleep. So, you know, that's why a lot of Hispanic kids are very well behaved. Well, at least in my generation, are very well behaved because they were threatened with this. You know, if you don't act right, La Llorona's gonna get you. So just recently when I saw it in theaters, you know, it had me shook. I was a little scared, you know, because they actually put a face to her. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a spirit. If I saw a spirit, I would be a little freaked out, but nothing too like, oh my goodness. But if I saw like anything else, I think I would be scared shitless. I would literally probably shit in my pants, and it would probably laugh at me. It'd be like, oh, I don't even know. I would be fucking scared, terrified, dying. So I hope that answers your question. Now, the last one I want to answer. Again, you know, she gave me a few questions to answer, and I kind of nitpicked on which ones I want to answer, just on what I feel like I wanted to answer. Yeah, I'm not that smart sometimes. But anywho, the last one, I kind of want to do a full 360. I started off with some anal sex, so the next question is going to come right back to sex. So it is, what is your craziest sex story? Ew. So the thing about me, and I'm actually very proud of it. I don't give a fuck what people say. I am a slut. I am down for the get down. And I actually have a lot of sex stories, but honestly, I feel like I'm pretty bland. You know, I've done threesomes. I've done an all guy threesome. I've been with a boyfriend and girlfriend before. Um, I have been with multiple guys at once, especially when I was in high school. Because right now, if you know me, I'm thick and fluffy, you know, a little thicker than a snicker. But before, I was like super skinny. Um, I worked out a lot, so I recently gained weight. By recently, I mean I've been thick and juicy since 2013. But, I've definitely had my share of crazy stories, some crazy and very random sexual exploits. Um, I can tell you the craziest place I've honestly ever had sex. I know this is gonna sound so bad, but the craziest place I've ever had sex was actually in a cemetery. Yeah. Not my proudest moment, but it happened. Oh well, it's in the past. YOLO. You only live once. So that's that. I mean, other than that, I'm kind of bland. I mean, sucking off three guys in one night, to me, that's bland. That's not like anything crazy where they like put me in a sex swing or they took me to like a house with like 100 men and they all went to town. That to me is crazy. Um, yeah, no, pretty bland, very vanilla. With that being said, I want to close out on this last note. Thank you so, so much for listening to my very first podcast. I promise you more to come. I also promise you a lot more juicy drama details. I really want to get into movies and shows. So please feel free to email me at bfpodcast@yahoo.com. That's right, B as in bitch, F as in fit, podcast@yahoo.com. And we'll see you in episode 2. Bye.